Now I am going to discuss about the SQL injection. It is the one of the most important thing in PHP, and when the prepared statement comes, the SQL injection is possible to protect the SQL injection. I am just going to give you the basic what is it and how we can prevent it in manual way. So let's start. SQL injection is a type of security in which the attacker inserts malicious code into a SQL statement via input field of a web page in order to gain unauthorized access to a database. There are actually total two types of SQL injections. One is post, another one is get. So let's start to work with the post SQL injection. For example, I am going to pass something using an input field. Here you see that 1 equal to 1. It is actually a commonly used expression in SQL injection attack. This is used to create a condition that is always true. How we can do that? I am going to example so that you can understand. Now I am going to copy a form. For example, I have a form, this one, okay. I am going to do one thing, that is I am going to open the notepad, then I paste it here, then from there I copy. No, the same thing problem. So no problem. For example, this is the form like this, like this, like this. So this is a normal form, okay. So if I go to run this form into here, you will see that this is the form I run. Now here I am going to do one thing, that is auto complete equal to off. So I am going to give here autocomplete off in this form, okay. Now I am going to reload, okay. This is a form. Now I am going to give another one, that is this condition. In the beginning I am going to just give this one. I am going to describe you this one by one so that you can understand what is this actually. So here I give the error, okay. And here I will call a database connection. So a database connection code will be here, okay, no problem. My database is, for example, testdb001, and everything here I am going to remove it, it is not needed. So this is okay. My first, this is the connection of the database. Then if the form is submit, that means if I give the username and password in this form and submit, then it will come here, and I am going to get the username and password. Then without the prepared statement, you see that here I use PDO. I use the PDO method here, PDO query, but here I change the code. For example, I want to log in into a system, so I am going to my database. For example, suppose there is a username and there is a password. This is the admin's table, and I want to check before login to a system if the username user is giving that message, this username and this password. That means what I will give here, if it messes, then it will give me access to login. So from the database table, that means from the admins, I will check using the where clause, if username equal to this username, this is the username that comes using the form, so post username. If the username in the database matches the username I gives, and the password that is in the database that matches the password I give here, then the fetch all will come. So if this is true, that means using the fetch, if I get any result, that means there is any data that is admin and password 1234, then it will tell me that success, you are logged in, okay. Now I can remove this, success, you are logged in. Otherwise it will tell me error. So let's do that. For example, I am going to give something, click on login, error, because it does not matches with the saved information. Now I am going to give here admin and 1234. Now if I click on login, you see that success, you are logged in. So I will try if I can bypass this. For example, here you see that in my code previously I show you something, this one. I am going to copy this. Now a bad people can try with this. I do not need to give any password at all, okay, but you can give anything you want. It will actually check this, and then if I click on login, you see that success, you are logged in. Why you are success? Because I did not give admin, but it is still success. So actually what this code does, I am going to explain. This code is actually the input as a username, right? So what is going to be happen here, it is going to be run like this way. I am going to copy this line again, paste it. What is going to be happen when I copy this and I put that here in this place, right? In the username I am going to input, so it is going to be happen like this. You see that here the part after that is completely avoided, so I do not need any password. I put just this code. This code is making that, you see that it is making where username is equal to 0. So from the table I am going to search where username or 0 or true. 1 equal to 1 means it is true. So I make by force it is true. So if it is true, is fetch all the data, right? So I am going to check only username. The password is not going to be checked here because I already used double dash here that omits the password completely. So in this case I actually do not need to give anything, just put that and click on login, and it is telling me, it is bypassing the information and telling me that you are login. So in this way the bad people can easily log into your system, and this is the security vulnerability in the case of SQL injection. In order to protect this, what you can do, I can use a add slash function. When you will get anything from the user, you do not trust it, just use this, okay? So always use add slashes, add slashes. What it will happen now, if I go to try to give this data or this login, is you see that it is error. What is actually happening here? If you want to see the username, what is going to be happened? Now let's check that. If I again now try to give this input like this, here I am going to give the input and password. If I click on login, actually I get this one. So it is actually error because a backward slash is added before the single quote. So in the before the single quote, just I am going to add this one. So add slashes, this function will just add a backslash before single quote. So it is not possible to bypass. So this is one way. There are many other ways to bypass. You can give manually check everything, if the password is strong or not. If the username, you can set some rule for the username. If it is not username email, then you can validate the email manually. So in that way you can bypass this one. So this is one technique to bypass the SQL injection, and this is post SQL injection. And use prepared statement. Recommended method is prepared statement. In the prepared statement, if I use, then I actually do not need to use this. Just use the prepared statement method like this. If I use the PDF prepare, then I actually do not need this. So select all from admins, where I will use username equal to question, a placeholder I am going to be used, that is question mark, and here the value I will have to give in this position. One is username and another one is password, and here I am going to get the total of this. If I am going to remove everything here, if total, or if the total is greater than 0, then success, otherwise error, otherwise not success. Here it will be this. So if I use video, you do not need to put anything here. So let's try. I am going to give this one here. So let's refresh, try to give that. it is not possible because I use now prepared statement. So in this way the prepared statement completely stop from the attack. So SQL injection is not possible. There is another SQL injection, that is get SQL injection. In the top someone can put the bad data, right? So for example, I am going to show something here. An example is also given here. For example, I call the config, and then after calling the database, here I am going to write something. For example, here I am going to write id equal to, using the get method, I am calling the id. Okay, so id equal to get id. Now what I am going to do, I am going to call the select statement, select all from post, where id equal to this one, limit 1. Okay, so I will just show the data from the database. I am not going to SQL MySQL here, although MySQL is given, but I will actually use, for example, this one. So I am going to do one thing, that is I am going to put this type of things. So I give here this one like this, just query is needed, and here it will be this, so data, and this is okay. So from the table I am now going to give something from the posts table. For example, I have a table that is posts. I am going here to give to change the structure. For example, a structure, then I am going to change this to type. Username and password I am going to change, and here I am going to ignore everything. This is title. Okay, post title and post detail. There are for example total 2 items, and then click on save. Ignore all. So I am going to give some post data. For example, post 1. Now I give here the post on, then title. So I am going to edit this data manually. Post on title and post on text. Now I click on here, and the main table, here I am going to the operation and change the table name, that is posts. So post table has this data. Now I am going to insert post to title and post to text. I am going to insert this data. For example, these two data I have given here. Now in the case of get extension, get SQL injection, what I am going to test, that where id equal to this, limit 1, select all from posts, where id equal to this id, and here limit 1, face all assoc, if result, and here I am going to do one thing, echo title and detail. So here, for example, result 0 here, result 0 of title, undefined array key id on line number 14. Here the get id, actually there is nothing comes, so I am going to call here id equal to 1. So post on title, post on text, actually there is no success is needed. Okay, so post on is coming, and if I do like this, I am going to check how many data is there, result. So let's check it. So there is post on title, post on, here using the face all, I am going to get only one data. So where id equal to 1. Okay, So here I can change it where id equal to 2 like this. So every time the id will come here, and here I can insert another on data, that is post 3 title, and I am going to give post 3 text. So I can give the information here. Now I am going to describe what is going to be happen. For example, instead of here I can use the order by in the top. I am going to show you so that you can understand. So here, for example, I am going to give like this. You see this is working, right? So index this order by, and this is actually working here. So I again give here id equal to 1, order by equal to 1. Here percent 20 is coming for the blank space, that is not a problem. Now I am going to do one thing. I am going to show the SQL. Okay, so this is the SQL. I am going to show here SQL equal to this. So I am going to copy this and paste it here. I will show the SQL. So here id equal to this one, for example, like this, and here I will pass the data SQL into this as parameter. So in this page I am going to refresh. Okay, each time I will copy this from here, copy this and paste it here. So select all from posts where id equal to 1, order by 1, limit 1. So this is showing. So what can be here, where id equal to here, if I give like this, let's check if it is working or not. It also works, so that's good. So here where id equal to 1, from here order by 2, here id equal to 1, order by 2, limit 1, or like something order by 2. The full thing is coming here. So you see that here I am going to get this particular post from the table where id equal to 1, order by 2. So here I am going to check id equal to 1, order by, here I can give order by 3. Okay, so id equal to 1, and each time I am going to get it. So if I go here, what is this actually happening here? I will use a union select. Okay, why I will use union select? Because I will try to make this query invalid. That means where id equal to 1, I will try to make it invalid. So I will try to give the union, but the problem is you do not know up to how many items it has the data, right? So id equal to 1, id equal to 1 is okay, but how many columns are there in this table? How many columns are here? 1, 2, 3. Because union will only work if the columns matches with the other items. You see that here total there are 3 columns. Okay, so in order to check, I will have to check how many columns are there. So here I am going to come, and in order to do that, order by 3, here I am going id equal to this, id equal to 3, order by 3. Then I am going to put order by 4. You see that there is error because the column 4 is not found, right? So order by column is getting error. From this I am sure that there is no 4 columns are there. Here there are only 3 columns, because when I am going to give here id equal to 1, order by 3, like this, it is giving me the information, right? So there is no error. But when I am going to give order by 4, then it is giving me error. What does that mean? That means I can here easily use union. Okay, so here you see that the bad people can call here now the union select 1, 2, 3. Okay, union select 1, 2, 3. So here I am going to give like this union select. Okay, So union select 1 to 3 I am going to give here. So this is now my target in order to invalidate. But how I can make this first query invalid? Because union means this left thing will execute and the right thing will also execute. So in this case I will have to omit the first one. So in order to do that, I can use an AND option here, id equal to 1 and 0. This will make the query invalid. So I am just going here, and here I am going to copy up to this. So like this. So here I am going to put id equal to 0, 1 and 0. Okay, so I am going to enter it, 1 and 0, union select 1 2 3. Okay, now you see that in this case what I can do, when I will give the union select 1 2 3, then let's try. I am going to give here the full query now. Limit on double time, sorry. Now here I can try that in the top. I can try something like this, where id equal to 1 and 0, and here union select 1 2 3 4, and there instead of 2, if I try to give the username, it is not coming. The root, yes, it is coming. You see that here the root at the rate of localhost. That means it is actually giving me the important information, right? So here where you will select here in the 2 or 3, you can just in the middle you can just use this type of information and you will get all the secret information. So if I run like this, the hacker will know that the username of my server here where my code is running, the username is this. So this is actually very vulnerable, and they can get all the information from you. For example, here they can use the version, here version instead of this. So I am going to check the version. So here I am going to copy it again. So id equal to 1 union, and here if they call the version, it is telling you that what is the version it is running of a server. So in this case it is actually very vulnerable. So some more thing you will understand that he can try to load a file, that is for example he can guess where he will work with. So for example, I am going here, in my case in my PC the www is the folder where I use the Laravel. Okay, so in the D drive I installed it. So if I just can guess it here. For example, I am going to copy this thing and here I am going to paste, and instead of version I am now going to use this one, load file. So here let's try with the load file, and here instead of version I am going to put it, enter. You will see that the php.ini file information is completely in front of me. So there can be a security issue here. He can easily see all the information, right, like this. So in order to get rid of this situation, what we do, we use the two method. First, that is I can when I am going to get the input from user, you see that here integer is expected, but I can put a lot of things here, right? So why it is accepting this? That has no validity. So in order to stop this, I can use the casting operator. For example, when I will get anything using the this symbol, this super global variable, then I will just use an integer. That means I will force it to integer. It must be converted to int. Now if I go to enter, you see that automatically it is 1. So post 1 is coming. So there all the things that you write here after this is not showing. So if you want to run order by 3 only this, you see that you will put it here, but the ID is 1 because it is removing everything after the 1, because you give here something like this ID equal to 1. This is the ID, but you are going to give order by 3. So this is actually in your input. But if you make this string integer, it will start from the beginning and it will take only the number and it will omit the other one that is after that. So the ID will be here integer. So in this case you can protect it, or like before, you can use the add slashes, this function. This function you can easily use here like before. In this way you can also protect this information. Okay, so this is the way you can protect. And if I use the previous method, like what we did in the case of a prepared statement, so you can easily solve this by using prepared statement. So here like this you can use this from post where id equal to this is get id, that means here id variable like this. Okay, and limit 1. If you use this, you will be secured. And here I am going to show the result using this one like this, and I am going to remove all other things here. So in this way you can also become secured. So let's try what it actually give you. If I go to give the ID here, this is okay. Now let's try to use order by 3. You see that nothing is coming. Okay, so no output. If you want to show the this in a secured way, SQL, and here SQL equal to this echo SQL, what will happen? Now you see that limit is equal to 1, question symbol, but you will not be able to see the variable. If id equal to 1, this is okay. If you want to give something like this, so you are going to see nothing. So the prepared statement can easily handle it. You do not need to think more about it. Just use the prepared statement and you will be secured. So in this way you can get rid of the post and get SQL injection in PHP.